Nearly 2 months have passed since the last time the best speed skaters in the world did battle. Tonight they meet on one of the fastest ovals in the world, the Olympic Oval in Calgary, Alberta, where over 300 world records have been set over the years. The big names are here: Stolz, Takagi, Beune, Eitrim, De Jong, Naus, Kyoto, with world records and World Cup titles up for grabs. This is the ISU's coverage of World Cup speed skating from Calgary. Good evening and welcome wherever you may be watching across North America and around the world. Patrick Keane is with you as the best skaters in the world reconvene for the Europeans, 2 weeks removed from their championships in the Netherlands, and for the rest of the world, weeks of rest, recovery, and training, and they are refreshed as the World Cup season resumes. It is the final stretch of the season that starts tonight, and we just saw a moment ago the schedule of events for day one here in Calgary. We will begin with the women's 5,000 meter. The men will then take the ice with the 1,500, and then the women will close things down with the 1,000. Tomorrow we will see the men's 1,000, the men's 10,000, the women's 1,500, the men's 1,000, and on Sunday, we'll close things down with the 500s on both the women's and men's side, the mass start, and the team sprints. So they are all here. And to give you an idea just how fast this ice is, even though this building has been around for now 38 years, 13 years more than the anticipated shelf life when it was built back in the late 80s ahead of the Calgary Olympic Games. In the B sessions earlier today, we saw the women's 5,000, the men's 1,500, and the women's 1,000, all in the B divisions. 52 personal bests were set in that first session today. As a matter of fact, the top 14 in the women's 5,000 B all set personal bests. Now again, the women don't skate the 5,000 very often, so that's not a big surprise, but we will see a lot of PBs, and we have our sights set on a couple of world records that could go down this week. And Jordan Stolz of the United States has his eyes on at least one of them. Italy's Davide Kyoto is eyeing the 10,000 meter world record as a possibility. He set the fastest 10,000 meter time in Insel earlier in the campaign, but it was not recognized, even though he beat the world record by a number of seconds. But tonight, or this weekend anyway, for Kyoto, it could be his time. We'll see the men's 10,000 tomorrow. So good to have it with us. Crowd still filing in on the first of these 3 days here in Calgary. And the lineup, as we take a look at the World Cup standings of the long distance for the women. Again, they're combining it this year. Ragne Wiklund of Norway right now at the top of the table. We'll see Joy Beune. She's in second position. Even Blondin, who's been on a plethora of podiums in this World Cup season. She is third. You see 3 of the top 6 are from Canada. They all are here, Malte and Weidemann. As a matter of fact, Team Canada has 28 skaters across all of the events over the course of this weekend. There is the start list. We will see Malte and Lollobrigida in pair 2, Beune and Blondin in pair 4, and Wiklund and Conor in 5, and the current track record holder, Min-Seok Sablikova, who is one of the absolute legends in our sport. She will go in the 6th and final pairing of the women's 5,000. The liquids flowing already for the fans as we get ready for pair number 1. Glad you are with us. Hopefully you'll enjoy the broadcast over the course of these next few days. And in the inner, there's Ilika Momoka Horikawa, 21-year-old, who was an Olympian for Japan at the age of 18, racing in Beijing 3 years ago. And Yang Bin-yu, 22-year-old from China.
Roll to the start.
Who took bronze in Beijing in the mass start. And away we go for World Cup Calgary.
Ready.
So the 5,000 meter gets underway. In the long distance World Cup classification standings, all of the top 12 at this early stage through 2 World Cups, all of the 12 we will see across these 6 pairs. The world record set back in 2020, 6:39.02. That is not expected to be in jeopardy this weekend. One of the few world records that potentially will not be targeted. And again, the track record set by Sablikova has stood since 2019 of 6:42.01. And then again, that is unlikely to be tested here in Calgary. Well, again, the Europeans race for the Euro Championships only a couple of weeks ago, but for Horikawa, for Yang, for all the Americans, and many, many others across the world, they've just been building up and trying to get rested and refreshed and ready, because the speed skating season is now on the downhill slope, but there are a lot of events that will tax the body, the training, the mind over the next couple of months before we crown some world champions in March. So we'll check the opening splits of the 1,000 meter. Yang at 1:24.76. Those full laps in the low 32s. Again, we'll see Malte and Lollobrigida coming up in the next pair. Conijn, good to have her back on the ice for the Netherlands. She'll be in pair 3. Blondin, a huge Canadian favorite, really global favorite. She'll be in pair number 4 with Weidemann. Wiklund, the right now top-ranked long-distance skater on the women's side. She'll be in pair 5, and then Weidemann will match against Sablikova in the final pair. Look at Yang coming down the straights. One of the top mass start skaters on the women's side. And Horikawa just turned 21. Horikawa a couple of years ago, as we get a look at Yang right there, Horikawa a couple of years ago broke the world junior record that stood for 17 years, set by Sablikova. She went sub 7 minutes a couple of years ago at the world single distance. Again, at that stage, she was just 19 years old. So now she's on the senior circuit. On the left side of your screen in the white armband. And the record she broke, we'll see that skater, Sablikova, coming up in our final pair. There's a look at Horikawa. 7 laps to go. About 0.8 of a second separating these first 2 skaters. Again, we saw the B divisions earlier today of the women's 5,000. Josie Hoffman of Germany was the top time. She went under 7 minutes. The men saw the 1,500 B division skaters go out there. Hendrik Dahlbeck of Germany claimed that one, and Kui Yin of China took the B division in the women's 1,000. And as I mentioned, 52 personal bests were set across those 3 events earlier today here in Calgary. And in the women's 5,000 were 29 skaters. 20 of them had personal bests. The top 14 finishers all had PBs. And a PB for Horikawa, 6:58.78. Yang is 7:03.74. Coming up now on the 3,000 meter split, 4:10 for Yang, 4:11 high for Horikawa. Watch those lap times and see what kind of deviation there are from lap to lap at this stage. Getting some encouragement as she passes the coaches. 4 laps remaining. That last lap time 33:59. Horikawa bleeding some time into the high 34s on that lap time for the 21-year-old. Again, this 5,000 meter is not an event raced frequently at all on the women's side. Of the first couple of World Cup events, it's been the 3,000 each time. Wiklund won it in Beijing and Blondin did in Nagano. But even at the four continents, it was only the 3,000. They ran the 5,000 a couple of weeks ago at the Euros, but that was all part of the women's and men's all-around. Look at Yang, 22-year-old, a 34-1 on that last lap, couple of laps to go. And Yang has never been below 7 minutes here. Both arms on her back. Now that right arm begins to swing. We'll talk later over the course of this week on Davide Chiotto of Italy and some of the others who have now adopted for a two-arm on the back approach. Heising of the Netherlands is kind of the first one who figured that out, how he was able to skate even faster doing that a couple of years ago, and others have now kind of followed suit. But Yang going one arm on the back, here's the bell, as Horikawa does now. And feeling the burn of a 5,000 meter race. Again, that lactic acid building up, the mouth is agape. And Yang again, 7:03.74, her personal best. Taking 7 minutes as a run here. Will she get under 7 at the finish? Not quite, but a personal best by almost 3 seconds for Yang Beune. 7 flat, done 8.4. And here is Horikawa, not with the type of time that she was looking for, 7:12.5. That is about 14 seconds off of her personal best. So Beune Yang, a 7 flat 84 in the opening pair here in Calgary.
So pairs Beune Yang is the leader, 7 minutes plus 9 feet.
And Yang and Horikawa and company, they will be feeling this one for a while. So the first pair is all complete.
From the great country of Canada, give it up for Valerie Malte!
Yeah, the first big ovation here in the A division for one of their star Canadians, Valerie Malte, 34 years of age,
In the outside lane from the country
two-time
of Italy,
Olympian, and here's another favorite across the globe. Francisca Lollobrigida, 33 years of age,
Roll
actually
to the
became a
start.
mom about, a year and a half ago. Tommaso, her son. Lollobrigida, after giving birth, was back on the ice skating competitively 6 months later. And generally her son is sleeping in Francesca's mom's arms at a lot of these events. And again, the Winter Olympic Games coming to Lollobrigida's home country next year. That's the big last major target for her and Ariana Fontana and all of the other superstar Italian skaters on the short track and long track. So off we go, Malte and Lollobrigida. Lollobrigida, two-time medalist in Beijing, silver in the 3,000, bronze in the mass start. Finished second in the 3,000 at the Euros last week behind Wiklund. That was part of the women's European all-around. De Jong was able to claim. Wiklund finished bronze. Beune the silver. Malte sub-32 lap, but Lollobrigida right now still the early lead here in the women's 5,000. Malte, one of those skaters who's been an Olympian for Canada across both disciplines on the ice. Short track back in 14 in Sochi, silver medalist in the relay, and gold in the team pursuit on the long track with Canada in Beijing. So Malte, the top-ranked mass start skater last year on the World Cup. Lollobrigida, nice draft, crossover. kind of teased when they opened the broadcast. We checked the splits with 9 laps to go. About an 8/10 of a second lead for Lollobrigida here. She's right now the fastest so far of the 4 at that stage. But this building was built in the late 80s in advance of the Calgary Winter Olympic Games. The shelf life and really the intended lifespan of the building, reading a few articles over the lead up to this event this week, they only expected to be around for about 25 years. It is about to turn 38 years old. This is where Team Canada and Speed Skating of Canada trains, but there are a lot of issues with this building in terms of just the wear and tear and the aging of the pipes and the ice on the floor, and they need tens of millions of dollars in renovations, or else this building may not survive. That's been one of the big concerns for Malte and even at Blondin and many of the others who have kind of called this building home over the last several years. They're not sure if this building is going to hold up until the Olympics next year, and that would be a big impediment as far as the training goes for a lot of these Canadian long track athletes. So they are now trying to put together funds from anywhere they can find, from provinces, from the federal governments, from perhaps naming rights to the building, anything they can do to infuse some money into this building to keep it up and running to the standards that these athletes need, expect, and want. There's also still a public facility for skaters here in Calgary, but they do need a lifeline here. Lollobrigida in the blue skin suit. Malte, the draft swings to the outer. Coming out of the corner, we'll check the speeds of these two. Lollobrigida and Malte right at about 45 kilometers an hour. Here's the 3,000 meter split. Lollobrigida 32.5 on that lap. Malte 33 low. Right now Lollobrigida about a second and a quarter clear of Malte. Coming out of the corner, Lollobrigida, 32.3. Malte beginning to close a bit, 32.7. Still lost time on that lap, but she lost less. Let's see how Malte comes down the stretch over the final few laps. The 3,800 meters split, so 3 laps to go. And Lollobrigida picks up another almost half a second on Malte on that lap. So she is building the lead. And Malte unable to really get any kind of draft off of Lollobrigida here. And she will need a hefty last couple of laps here. So this will be the 4,200 meter split for Francesca Lollobrigida, looking very good in this stage. She's been sub 652 in her life. And right now, she's pacing pretty much right at that number if she can keep these lap times high in the 32s. And again, this is the first time the women, at least most of them around the world, have raced in the 5,000s. So we'll see how the bodies really hold up in these last 12 to 1,600 meters. There's the bell for Lollobrigida, a 32.7. So yeah, she's looking right at a 6:51, which would be her personal best. That may even have been a reverse split on that last lap compared to the previous. And she is feeling it, but she's in the closing moments now. And she has left Valerie Malte in her wake. So here's Lollobrigida digging out of this last corner. Her personal best is 6:51.76. This is going to be very tight on that number. And Lollobrigida does it. Yes, what a race. 6:51.07 for Francesca Lollobrigida. Outstanding race for the young mother. That was tremendous. 32.8 on that last lap, so she was 32.7, 32.8, 32.8 coming home. And that is exceptional.
Absolutely. Every athlete in the building took note of that. They're licking their lips, hoping for their race in the fast time.
So now the question is, how will that number hold up with 4 more pairs? Again, you do have the higher ranked skaters at the long distance, but again, kind of the great neutralizer is the fact that very few of these skaters are accustomed to skating 5,000. So really, the rankings are, to me, pretty much meaningless here. There's Meryl Conijn back on the ice for the Netherlands, the 23-year-old. She was second at the Euros in the all-around in the 5,000 meter behind Wiklund, and Sara Insehoff of the Netherlands, 27-year-old Olympian from Beijing.
Ready.
So Conijn in the white armband starting in the inner. Insehoff in the red armband starting in the outer. There's a look at Insehoff there. And there's Conijn. Back to Lollobrigida for a moment. Her last, gosh, almost you look over the course of the last half of that race. 32 threes to 32 eights. Each of the last 9 laps, 10 laps of that race. So she was ultra consistent over the 5,000 meters. And meanwhile, Malte kind of closed 32.7 at lap 9 and finished at 34.8. Lollobrigida was 32.3, 32.7, 32.8, 32.7, 32.8. I mean, that's how you do it at 5,000 meters. That was a tremendously balanced race. Could be a tough time for the others to get underneath here. 4 more pairs to go. Blondin and Beune will be next. Conijn, former world junior champ of the team pursuit back in 2020. Dutch junior all-around champ. I mean, she has been a star in the making. Conijn back on the ice now after some issues. She's 23. Personal best 6:48.96. By the way, Malte also set a personal best 6:57.76. Her personal best was by about a second. Lollobrigida at the top of her game here in the 5,000. Swings to the outer here. Good look at 2 of the Dutch skaters. 4 out of the 12 are from the Netherlands here in the women's 5,000. A little scrub of the nose right there by Insehoff going into that corner. Beautiful sound in this building of the blades clanging with the Calgary ice. Conijn at 32.4, Insehoff at 32.3, 7 laps to go. That's a little bit quicker than where Lollobrigida was at that stage, at that lap. But now the question is, can both or one of these skaters maintain that 32.6, 32.4, 32.8 range the rest of the way? That is going to be a big challenge. 32.6 into off, 32.3 for Conijn. And they're still 2 to 3 seconds ahead of the pace set by Lollobrigida. So they got out quicker. Not going to maintain that 32 mid the rest of the way. But they have a little bit of time to play with thanks to the opening 4 or 5 laps. And now those lap time is beginning to increase. Into off crosses 33 seconds for the first time. But again, they have some margin, but when you're talking about 5 or 6 laps to go, you bleed 2 or 3 tenths per lap, that's the difference. And the margin would be gone. So if you're Lollobrigida right now, eyeing these lap times, this one might tell the story. We saw a high 32, there's another one for Conijn, and a 33.38 for Intoff. So she is bleeding some time these last couple of laps. Conijn still hanging in. A couple of seconds to the good. But again, Lollobrigida was not anything beyond 32.8 the entire race. The last lap we saw from Conijn was 32.8. So this might be the litmus test to see where Lollobrigida will stand if Conijn is over 32.8. And Conijn at 32.86. The lead is 2.3 for Conijn at this stage. So again, she has a little bit of time to maneuver with here. Two more laps to go after Conijn, and Intoff crossed the line here. Lollobrigida was 5:45.50 at this stage. Conijn at 5:43.12. So still 2 1/3 seconds up. That lap consistent again, 32.8. So if Conijn can maintain that, again, a couple of seconds to spare. So and Conijn could even drift into the 33.3 or 4 these last couple laps and still overtake Lollobrigida. So she's in very good shape here. We'll see how the final 800 meters treat her. Will she meet a wall? Or does she have the endurance and the mental fortitude to pull right through? There's the bell. 32.3, excellent lap for Conijn. She went about a half second faster that last lap, but Conijn right now in charge. Lollobrigida 6:51.07, but this is Meryl Conijn putting together a terrific race, and she is going to be the new standard bearer of the women's 5,000. She will get beneath 6:50 easily. 31.9 on that last lap for Conijn at a 6:47.44. She went negative splits the last 2 laps. That is training and conditioning for the final 800 painful meters.
Intoff into third place, 6:57.73.
And a personal best for Conijn by about a second and a half. 6:47.44. That will push Lollobrigida to second. And Intoff at 6:57.73 right now is third. We're halfway through the 5,000 meter pairage. What a race right there by Meryl Conijn. So now to pair 4 and 2 of the big favorites. There is Evanie Blondin, 34-year-old gold medalist in Beijing, part of the Canadian team pursuit, silver in the mast. And Joy Buna, silver at the overall in the all-round of the Europeans a couple of weeks ago. World distance champion in 24. And Beune. As a matter of fact, in the World Single Distance Championships in 2024 that were held on this ice in Calgary, she won the 5,000. Claimed the World Championship. So there Here's Beune in the red armband. David Blondin, who's been seemingly on every female podium this year in the World Cup. A true favorite in terms of her skating, personality, disposition, competitive fire. Representing Canada right now on the left of your screen. Blondin off by about a second. Beune slightly ahead of the leader. Good look at the 25-year-old. Blondin, look at Beune right now, setting the early pace. Big speed out of that straight 46 plus. And Beune looks quite good in the early stages of this one. Blondin, over the course of the World Cup, silver in Nagano in the mass start, gold in the 3,000, gold in the mass, the 4 continents, bronze the 1,500, bronze in the 3,000. Back to Beijing for Beune. Silver in the 1,500, silver in the 3,000. These two, over the course of this season, are really at the top of their games. Pair 4, a couple more to go. Beune right now number 2 in the long distance ranking behind Ragnhild Wiklund of Norway after the first couple of World Cups. And right now, Beune almost 2 seconds to the good. And Blondin lagging back. So right now the ice belongs to Joy Beune. Part of Blondin's strength at these extreme distance races is the back half of her race. The fact that she is right now several seconds off of the pace don't count her out necessarily in this pair, but Beune looking strong with 7 laps to go. A 31.8, Blondin a 32.7. So they are separated by about 5 seconds.
Matching the pace she set last year when she won the World Championship. Right here.
Those eyes laser focused on the corner for Beune. A 32.0 on that pass lap. Blondin 33, so she lost another second on that lap to Beune. Clean ice right now for the 25-year-old from the Netherlands. So coming now to the 3,000 meter split, 4:01.51, a 32.27. That's a half second faster than Conijn was on that same lap. And if the technique and the body holds up, Beune will be tough to beat. Again, those eyes are just locked. Three and a half seconds ahead of the leader, Conijn. Blondin is not going to be a factor in this one. Conijn was 5:10.31 at this point, and look at Beune, almost 4 seconds clear. Her personal best is 6:47.72. I mean, she's looking mid 6:45s, if not into the 44s or 43s perhaps. I told you about a lot of the numbers that could be going down. Again, the track record is 6:42.01. That might be a little bit out of range. Let's see where Beune is here on the 4,200 meter split. 5:39.37. So you're a couple of, maybe a second and a half above the track record of Sablikova back in 2019. Now that mouth open up, trying to get a little bit more air in the lungs here for Beune. Coming up on the bell for Joy. Here comes the bell. Across the line, 6:12.43. So yeah, she's looking 6:45-ish. And again, Conijn was 6:47.44. So unless a complete breakdown here from Beune, she'll be the leader with a couple of pairs to go. And extremely likely to set a personal best here. That bell was for Blondin, and this is now Beune coming down the home straight. Her PB is 6:47.72. The track record will not be hers, but a personal best will. A 6:45.77. And there is your leader with 2 pairs to go. And man, is she feeling it. Hurting, but celebrating. And here's Blondin. Not with the race she envisioned. Did not have it in the front half and certainly didn't have it on the back. Blondin finishes in a very uncharacteristic 7:12. So Conijn second, Lollobrigida right now third, and 2 more pairs to go. Beune did give up some time over the last couple of laps to Conijn. She gave back 7/10 on the penultimate lap and gave up 1.4 seconds on that last 400 meters, but she had built up such a big lead it didn't matter. And still a lead of 1 2/3 seconds over Conijn.
In the 5th pairing.
So here's the 5th pair of the 6.
The Netherlands, Marieke Hoevenvold.
And Marieke Groenewoud. The 4th of the 4 Dutch skaters here in the 5,000. And here's your long distance classification leader, Ragne Wiklund, 24-year-old from Norway. Took the bronze in the European all-round overall a couple of weeks ago, but she did win each of the long distance, the 3,000 and the 5,000. So she should be primed and ready at this distance. There is Wiklund on the left. There's a look at Groenewoud in the Dutch kits. Took gold in Nagano and in Beijing in the mass start. 2-time world champ in the mass start over her career. And for Wiklund at the 1,500 meter distance, 2-time world champ of the world single distance, 1,500 and the 3,000. The first 2 long distance in the World Cup season, Wiklund finished second to Blondin in the 3,000 in Nagano, and then beat Beune and Weidemann in the 3,000 in Beijing. So it's been a first or second for Wiklund in the 2 long distances so far at the World Cup level. Seen a couple of electric finishes by Groenewoud in the mass starts in the first 2 World Cup events of this year. Obviously, the mass start coming up on Sunday, day 3 here in Calgary for both the men and the women. So 31-6 for Wiklund right there. That was right at what Joy Beune was at on that lap. Wiklund 24. Distance skaters is what really Team Norway on the men's and women's side has been known for so long. And Wiklund at 31.66 picks up almost 2 seconds on her competitor in this pair. And this pair is beginning to look a lot like the one we just saw with Joy Beune and even Blondin. Blondin a distance away. Something beginning to materialize here. This is Wiklund right now on her own, a 31.99, and about a second off the pace of Beune. Wiklund's been to the 646s in this race over her career. What has not been below 650. A 32-second lap for the first time of this race for Wiklund. But she can live with that 32-2. See how the strategy and the approach of these skaters varies. We saw Lollobrigida ultra consistent really from the opening first full 400 meters, but then you saw Beune go out a little bit faster, as Conijn did as well, and then lost a little bit of time coming home in the last 800 meters, but they still had the quicker start that put them in the lead. We didn't see Wiklund go out extraordinarily hard in the first 1,000 meters. She'll still need to be in the mid-32s, high 32s coming home. We'll check out this 3,400 meter split, 4 laps to go, 32.6, and about a second and a half behind. It was the last couple of laps for Joy Beune, where she tipped over 33 seconds. And that is where Wiklund can make up the difference. She can stay in the mid to high 32s. This number will tell us a lot here. 3 laps to go. And it's a 33.1, and that is not where Wiklund wanted to see that number. She's now 2 seconds off the pace. It's tough to get that time back. Once you start dropping it off, it's hard to go back the other direction.
It's such a sight to behold.
Wiklund, for the most part of this race, keeping both hands on her back here. Again, that has been the approach that Chris Heising of the Netherlands kind of accidentally discovered a couple of years ago. He found that he was actually faster that way. Now some other skaters have kind of adopted that same principle. Looks like Wiklund on the women's side is doing the same here. So Wiklund coming around the corner, one more lap to come. Beune was 6:12.43, and seeing Wiklund really fall off now. 36.1 on that last extremely slow lap for Wiklund, and she's fallen not only away from the leader, but outside the top 3. And you can tell the wall has been a hit. There's very little speed coming out of this final corner for Wiklund. Again, this is a distance these female racers just do not race very often, and that's why we're so impressed with Conijn, with Lollobrigida, with Beune. But now we're seeing the other side of the spectrum here as Wiklund crosses a 37.7 and winds up almost 11 seconds off the pace. I mean, the body lets you know, right? And you can tell the pain and the anguish on the face right there. And here's the finish for Beune. 7:10.11. So Wiklund at this moment 4th. In terms of points, that would be 43 points in the World Cup classification standings. One more pair to go. And Wiklund with 1,200 meters to go was sitting 33.1 in that previous lap. She finishes 34.2, 36.1, and 37.6. And again, the body just ended that opportunity for Ragnhild Wiklund. And Joy feeling pretty comfortable with where she is. One last pair to go. And one of the top Canadians, 3-time Olympic medalist, Isabelle Weidemann, 29-year-old, Olympic gold medalist in the team pursuit, silver in the 5K, bronze in the 3K. And here is one of the absolute legends, especially at the distance. And Sablikova, the track record holder. She said it 6 years ago when she was 31 years of age. She's 37 now.
Ready.
And off we go on the final pair of the women's 5,000. Sablikova is, one of those skaters like we saw years ago, Claudia Pechstein of Germany, who continued to skate competitively on the World Cup and World Championship circuit until well into her 40s. Very well could see the same thing here from Martina. She's 37. Right now, number 6 in the long distance classification this World Cup season. Why stop when you're still getting great results and you've committed really to this quad, right, for the Olympics coming up next year? And a look at Isabelle Weidemann, who's on the 3,000 meter podium in Beijing with bronze, silver in 4 continents in the 3,000. First full laps in the mid-31s for both Weidemann and Sablikova. Perspective, Beune was in the mid-30s. Final pair. Right now it's Joy Beune of the Netherlands, Merel Conijn of the Netherlands, and Francesca Lollobrigida of Italy. Right now, 1, 2, 3. They all set personal bests, and this is the final pair. And then, at least at this early stage of this race, it does look like we will have some drafting help on both sides. Did not see it in the last race. Didn't see it in the previous race with Blondin and Beune. Martina goes 32 low. The numbers being flashed by the coaches on the ice, giving them an idea where they are on that last lap time. They can do the calculations in their head. Track record that Martina threw down 6 years ago is 6:42.01. Beune is leading time 6:45.76, so about 3.5 seconds off of that track record set here in March of 2019. There is Weidemann. Sablikova actually started her athletic career as a youngster playing a lot of basketball before she transitioned onto the ice. Weidemann, with her size, probably could have been an excellent basketball player, but speed skating has been her forte over the years. But Weidemann, she's 6'3", 6'4". Six laps to go at this cross of the line. And the time of 32:54 on that lap, 4.5 seconds off the pace. But again, with some of these skaters, they are not accustomed to going 5,000 meters. For Martina Sablikova, I mean, this is exactly what she has been training for over the last couple of decades. So unlikely that she will hit a wall. The question is, can her times continue to pick up some time on Joy Beune? She's 4.7 seconds up, but she goes down to 32.3. So that's a lot of time to make up over the last 5 laps. But if anybody can, the ageless Martina Sablikova. See where Martina comes across the line here. Is it still low 32s? 32.56. 4 laps left. So even on that isolated lap, Joy was a bit faster. You see the 32.4 being held up. Laps to come. 32.8. Lost a little bit of time in comparison to Beune again. She's now 5 seconds off the pace, sitting 4th. So right now, a podium finish is going to be in question for the 37-year-old from Czechia. Remember how consistent Lollobrigida was over her entire race. That right now is what Martina is chasing. Lollobrigida finished in 32.8, 32.7, 32.8, and 32.7. 5:44.32, so she's about a second, 1.2 seconds behind Lollobrigida for 3rd. So Joy Beune can feel very, very good about her position with a couple of laps to come for the 37-year-old Sablikova. 1 more lap to go. The bell for Martina. And that last lap of 32.6. She's up at a 3rd though. And now the final lap that we have watched so many times over the years for Martina Sablikova. Trying to make up time. Conijn was 6:47.44. Lollobrigida 6:51.07. So here comes Sablikova down the home straight, final few meters, and at the line it will be Sablikova finishing 3rd on the podium. That's an excellent race. 6:49.01. Weidemann finishes 6:53.6, and there is your World Cup Calgary gold medalist in the women's 5,000, the Netherlands, Joy Beune. Conijn takes silver, and Martina Sablikova will win the bronze. And it was a negative split over the last 3 laps for Sablikova. She finishes 32.7, 32.6, and 32 flat. 32 flat with that last lap. And scanning all of the splits of all the skaters, that's the fastest last lap of any of the 12 competitors. 32.0 for Sablikova. 37 years old, can still wind it up in the final 1,200 meters of that 5K. Well done. Well done. And great appreciation by these fans here in Calgary. So Sablikova will be on the podium again. That never gets old.
Let's get those questions on the board and get this quiz on the way. So the first question we have, which city hosted the 1988 Winter Olympics?
So we'll get a look at the official results as Joy does a post-race interview. The first goal of this Calgary World Cup weekend. And there they are. Beune 6:45.76. A personal best by nearly 2 seconds. Conijn silver. Sablikova the bronze. Weidemann finishes 5th. Alte finishes 8th. And Blondin, also of Canada, finishes 11th. So that's the first of our 3 events on day 1 here in Calgary. They will resurface the ice. We'll take a bit of a break and we'll come back with the men's 1,500 meter, and that means the United States, Jordan Stolz, will be on the ice. He'll be in the final pair against his nemesis, Ning Zhongyan. But we'll see some big names: Sander Eichum, Kjeld Naus, Peter Kongsjorg, and many, many others. Can Stolz make it 18 World Cup golds in a row? Stay tuned. More of ISU's coverage of World Cup Calgary coming up.
for the winners of the women's 5,000 meters.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous présentons maintenant les gagnantes du 5000 mètres femmes.
The medals will be presented by ISU representative, Mr. Albert Hazelhoff. Our top 3 skaters will also receive delicious custom chocolates from Calgary's own The Chocolate Lab, presented by Antonio Fiola, the president of Speed Skating Alberta. And joining the medalists today are Jessica Meyer-Bach from the legendary Speed Skating Club and Lachlan Ravlich from the Calgary Speed Skating Association. In 3rd place, and the winner of the bronze medal, skating a time of 6:49.01, representing Czechia. Give it up for Martina Sablikova. In 2nd place, and winner of the silver medal, skating a time of 6:47.44, representing the Netherlands, Conijn. And in 1st place, and winner of the gold medal, with a skating time of 6:45.76, who put on a clinic today from the country of Netherlands, Joy Uni. Congratulations to our ISU World Cup Speed Skating winner and all the medalists.
Félicitations à tous les médaillés.
And back to the Olympic Oval in Calgary, Alberta. World Cup stop number 3. The women's 5,000 is done, and now we welcome the men onto the ice for the first time tonight. And it's the 1,500 meter. And the story of this 1,500, as it has been really for the entire World Cup meets over the campaign, will Jordan Stolz lose a race? He's won 17 consecutive World Cup races. 3-time world champion of the world single distance, a record-setting world all-around title, the youngest world champion ever, and the American will be in the final pair. He has won 17 in a row dating back to last World Cup season. He's a perfect 8 for 8 this year. Anybody on that screen will dislodge Jordan Stolz. Those are the first 5 pairs. How about these 5 pairs? Any of those 9 will dislodge Jordan Stolz, or will we see an 18th straight? Ning Zhongyang, who has finished runner-up to Stolz a couple of times, he will oppose him in that final pair. Peter Kongsjorg and some others. So here we go, the introduction of pair number 1. Representing Italy in the inner, 25-year-old Daniel Di Stefano. European all-around 3rd in the 500. And in the outer,
lane,
the other American we will see here in the men's 1,500. Out of Glen Ellen, Illinois, 24-year-old Ethan Sepperin, an Olympian for Team USA, part of the world record-setting team pursuit squad for the Americans in Salt Lake in 24. Along with Emery Lehman and Casey Dawson. So of the 20 skaters in this A division, the top 17 in terms of World Cup rankings this year, the top 17 are here. Sepperin actually into the A division. He's ranked number 23 coming in. And Stefano is number 22. A ton of personal bests. We saw the B division earlier today have 10 personal bests out of the 34. Hendrik Dombeck of Germany claimed the B division win earlier today. So we'll likely see him in Milwaukee next week in the A division. Sepperin's personal best is 1:45.40. Di Stefano is 1:43.99. 2 laps to go. 25.8 for Di Stefano on that lap. Di Stefano, pretty good effort in the Netherlands a couple of weeks ago. He was 7th overall at the Euros all around. And there he is here, his teeth grinding with a lap to come. Both hands in the back of Di Stefano as he comes around the penultimate corner. Set the early pace. Di Stefano around the last corner. He is feeling it going on this last corner, trying to hold it together. He will win the pair. Personal best 1:43.99. He'll be close to that, but he'll be off by about 0.7 of a second. But a 1:44.68. Sepperin 1:46.45. So the 1,500 meter is underway. And again, even if you can just out of the opening pair, you're not inside the top 20. The fact that you're in the A division, chance to, if you can ladder up a couple of spots for Di Stefano, you can pick up a few extra World Cup points and maybe stay in the A division heading to Milwaukee.
To the second pairing, and here
And now
we
ready
go.
to pairing number 2.
From the country of the Netherlands, Joep Lenemarsh.
Joep Lenemarsh, 22-year-old from the Netherlands. He's ranked number 17
And in
currently.
the other lane, also from the Netherlands, Wesley Dice.
Wesley Dice, world junior champ, as part of the team pursuit back in 2015 with Marcel Bosker and Patrick Rust. Dice, 29. in the red armband on your left.
Ready.
So away we go. Second of 10 pairs, the men's 1500. Again, Jordan Stolz of the United States will go in the final pair. Track record set by Dennis Yuskov held up for 8 years now, 141.33. The world record of 140.17, and Stolz is going to have that in his crosshairs. Already holds a couple of world records, junior world records. We'll try to add another one to his list here tonight. Dice, 25-13, first full lap. Well, lap for Dice in front of 26-8, and he's about a full second ahead of Stefano. And Dice, like Di Stefano, like Separate, outside the top 20, so an opportunity to get into the A division, pick up some points. If he can grab the lead, he would, at worst, finish, 16th? If he could take this lead away from Di Stefano here, and he just did by a half second. 144.15 for Dice. So he is your new leader. And now the skaters of pairing number 3 are on the ice. Nicely Dice. Love to see the reactions on these sprints.
In the side lane from the country of Belgium, Bart Swings.
Bart Swings, Olympic champ in the mass starts in Beijing.
And in the outer lane from the country of Netherlands, Tijmen Snel.
Tijmen Snel,
Go.
27 in a row. He was a world junior champion. He was part of the team sprint back in 2017 with Heising and company.
Ready.
When Swings won the Olympic championship in Beijing in the mass start, that was the first Belgian gold in the Winter Olympics since 1948, first ever in speed skating. 5-time European champ, 2-time world champ. He's matched up here in the 1500 against Snell. And Snell out quickly, 23-30, 400s in front. See Swings in the mass start on Sunday. Another crossover, Snell to the inner. Third of 10 pairs. A lap and a half to go now. Snell in front. Swings off the pace. And now Swings beginning to make a little push into the final 400 meters. The lead is about 8/10 in this pair for Snell, but Swings is coming hard at him. So there's the crossover. Swings on the left of your screen, looking fresh. Final corner. There is Bart Swings. 144.15 the time for Dice, and they are tethered across the ice. Swings and Snell, and Swings in the final couple of meters gets there, but only good for third, a 1:45.02. Swings picked up almost a full second on that last lap against Snell, but still behind Dice. So that will help Dice's cause as well, and just in terms of solidifying himself in this A division. So now 3 pairs are in the books, and Dice, who came in ranked 21st, is still leading. So 14 more skaters ahead. The worst he could finish is 15th now, which would be good for 26 points. So pair 4.
In the inside lane from the country of Japan.
26-year-old Japanese Olympian Ryoto Kojima.
And in the outer lane.
Personal best in the 500 on this ice in Calgary 3 years ago. And here's Didrik Engstrand.
Go to the stop.
Strand, a 5-medal haul to World Juniors a couple of years ago. He's only 19, youngest in the field. On the left of your screen, doesn't look 19, does he? That is a big young man for 19 years of age. And he took gold at the World Juniors, the team sprint, the 1500, and the all-around. So there's Didrik Engstrand, Kojima right there, the head-on look at the 26-year-old Olympian. 14th in Beijing at the Olympics in the 1,000 meters for Kojima. Low to the ice, around the corner and the outer. We'll see Angel Dalaman coming up in the women's 1,000 a little bit later on tonight. She's the youngest skater of anybody here at just 17. But the youngest on the men's side is in the red and blue skin suit on the ice in this pair. There's Kojima. See on the right side of your screen, the red numbers trailing your leader at Dice, and they both are behind the pace of Dice entering the final lap. Kojima and Strand, and this would be a heck of a night for Dice. I mean, he's just continuing to ladder up potentially. Out of the second pair, ranked number 21, are these two top 14 skaters this year going to get underneath them. Kojima will get to the line first, and he will not do it either. So Dice remains on top with a 1:44.15, and Kojima just 4th after the first 4 pairs. So Dice will guarantee himself 2 more spots up the A division leaderboard here tonight in Calgary. To Kojima, and out of pair number 5 onto the ice on your screen in the background there. Japan will have the second of its 4th entrance in this men's 1500. Kazuya Yamada, the younger brother of Masaya, 23-year-old. There is the first Canadian here in the men's 1500, Conor Howe, born right here in Calgary. 12 years after the Olympics were held here in Calgary. Born in 2000 and became an Olympian for Canada in Beijing. He's 24. Special moment on his home ice.
Ready.
It'll be even more special for Conor Howe if he can see himself on top of the table after this race. After 5 pairs. So Howe blasting off. Yamada. 17th last year at the World Single Distance, the 1500 match race. As we get underway, and Conor Howe is in the green here by 6 100s. Pretty good crowd here in Calgary, certainly elevating all the Canadian skaters, their favorites. Here's Conor Howe. He's the only Canadian in the men's 1,500 meter field. And listen to the ovation for Howe. That will do nothing but speed up. He still is in the lead with 2 laps to go. You're trying to block it out, but you can hear it, you can feel it if you're Conor Howe. And it is helpful, especially coming into this last lap. He'll hear it even louder this time. Coming up on the bell lap. Howe is still in front. Is he still in the lead? Yes. Almost 4/10. Conor Howe in front. Yamada 4th overall inside the final lap. Can Conor Howe bring it home? And can he see his name on top of the standings with 5 pairs to go on his home ice in his hometown? Here comes Conor Howe. Dice finished at 1:44.15. Howe's been in the lead the entire race. Can he finish it off to the line? Conor Howe, he's in the green and in the lead. 1:43.37 for Conor Howe. Special moment. And that will shuffle Dice to second. A little more than a second above a personal best for Conor Howe. Now that was a determined effort by Conor Howe. The crowd certainly abetted that effort. Special family, friends, everybody here to support him. There you go. Even the PA announcer says, "Good job, Conor Howe."
In the inside lane.
Pair 6 of 10.
The Netherlands, Tim Prins.
And here's Tim Prins, the 21-year-old from the Netherlands.
And in the outer lane, from the country of Hungary.
Now representing Hungary, Kim Min-Seok. Took first in the 500 in the Euros all around a couple of weeks ago. Just started representing Hungary this year. Kim, 2-time Olympian, 3-time Olympic medalist. At that stage, representing Korea. Took silver in Pyeongchang in 18 in the team pursuit. A couple of bronzes in Beijing in the 1500. Actually, 1 bronze in Beijing in the 1500, bronze in Pyeongchang in the 1500 as well. So there's a look at Kim Min-Seok and Tim Prins. Prins was 3rd overall at the Euros a couple of weeks ago in the sprint championships behind Yen Debu and Seperkamp. So he had a fine weekend in good form coming in here to Calgary. We'll see how these 2 skaters look at the number of Conor Howe, both about a 1/10 of a second behind, 2 laps to go. Kim will cross over to the outer. Prins getting a healthy draft. And now both in the lead ahead of Howe's time, making up time on that penultimate lap. The lead is Tim Prins, 25.88 on that previous lap. Conor Howe came home in 28.4. And you can hear the exhorting from the coaching staff as they come around that back straight. Now they're coming home, winding it in. Kim in front. Prins now fading a bit. And here's Kim Min-Seok. And the time he lays down is 1:42.63. Prins up in a second position. And Kim put down a very big last lap. And there's your leader. So 1:42.63 for Kim Min-Seok. And that is 900ths off of a personal best for him. He came home in 28.1. Powell came home in 28.4. Prinz kind of labored a bit, 28.8. So your leader, Kim Min-Seok, now representing Hungary. Again, Jordan Stolz will be in the final pair,
From the country of Germany,
endeavoring for his 18th straight World Cup title. We'll see what the time he will have to beat will be.
and
Stefan Emele of Germany, 28-year-old.
from the country of Japan, Tayo Nanomura.
And Tayo Nanomura, 23-year-old,
Go to the
who was
stop.
number 10 last year at the classification at the World Cup level at this distance. And he comes in number 8 so far this year. So he's pegged up a couple of spots.
Ready.
Emele of Germany, Nanomura of Japan. We'll see one more skater from Japan in our next pair. Ichinoe. Well, Kim went out in 23.4. We'll see how the time looks for Nanomura at the 400-meter mark, 23.31. Time you see of Nanomura as far as the 12/10 of a second advantage is not over the leader, it was over the fastest skater at that 400 mark, which was not Kim Min-Seok. Tim Prinz. 2 laps to go. And now falling off of the pace, Nanomura with a 25.6. There's the bell for Nanomura and Emele, and they are both falling off the pace badly, and Emele had to put that left hand down to keep his balance out of that corner. So these two skaters will not be in the mix at all, not even for an outside podium spot, despite coming in top 8 in the World Cup classification rankings. Nanomura will win this pair, but he's going to be a distant winner. Final time 1:43.87. Did make up some time down the stretch, finishes 4th at this stage, but again 3 more pairs to go, so assures himself a top 10 finish, but nothing higher potentially than that. So Kim still leads 142.63. Again, the track record is 141.33, set by Denis Yuskov in 2017. The world record is set by a skater we will see in a couple of pairs, Kjeld Naus. And Naus, who knows how this evening plays off, but he might just be coming off of the ice as his world record might go down. Jordan Stolz of the United States in the final pair right after Naus. So now, pair 8.
Pairing in the inside lane from the country of Norway, Petter Kongsjorg.
And there's the 23-year-old Petter Kongsjorg. European all-around. Had an excellent couple of weeks ago. Kongsjorg second overall behind Eitram. We'll see Sander Eitram coming up in the next part. Satoru Ichinohe of Japan, 2-time Olympian, will start in the outer.
Ready.
And a false start. Looked like Kongsjorg might have been just a bit unstable on the inner, and you see the white flag there indicates the false start against the man wearing the white armband, and that is Petter Kongsjorg.
There is now a false start charge to the field. Both athletes have to be careful. Another false
Yeah,
start.
the right arm and elbow flinched a bit, he knew it.
Start in a lane. Go to the stop. Ready.
Bit of a longer hold, it appeared, but Kongsjorg was able to be his best mannequin. So a clean start in the 8th of 10 pairs. Eitram and Naus are on deck, and then we'll see Jordan Stolz against Ning in the final pair. Right now, your leader, Min-Seok, in his 1500, 142.63. But Kongsjorg and Ichinohe well off of the pace in the early goings. Kongsjorg, pretty good form coming into Calgary based on what we saw a couple of weeks ago at the Euros. He won the 1500, the Euros, as part of the all-around. Finished second to Min-Seok in the 500. Second overall in the finals. Eitram claimed it. His countryman from Norway. We'll see Eitram next. Kongsjorg right now 6th place, but very close. 1400's off. And he will hear the bell as he unwinds himself out of this corner. So this is Kongsjorg's pair. And he is very close. Narrowly third, but ramping up the speed down now the back straight at 26 flat on that last lap. And Kongsjorg in position to grab the lead with 2 pairs to go here. Kim's time 142.63, and here comes Petter Kongsjorg. What does he have left in the tank? The lead is his. Will he be at the top of the board with 2 pairs to go? A little stumble, and he gets there anyway. 142.26, and that's a personal best. And he did it really in the last 800 meters of that race. He shaves 4/10 off his PB, and he is in the lead. Shuffles Kim to second, Prins third. And now we have the 4 big dogs to go in the last 2 pairs. So Kongsjorg, will it hold up? Will he stay on the podium? That's probably the target here for Petter, but it's a really good time. That's his best. That's his best ever. And that's all he can ask for here on debatably the fastest ice in the world. So he's in pain, happy pain. And here we go, pair number 9. That means Jordan Stolz of the United States is on deck.
To go. Here we go. In the inside
So here is the European overall all-round champion, Sander Eitram, the 22-year-old.
And in the outer lane from the Netherlands.
And here is the world record holder, Kjell Nausch, 35 years of age, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, twice in the 1500 meters. His world record is in doubt in the next pair, 140.17, 6 years back.
Ready.
2 to the whistle. And a false start issued against Eitram. And that will be a false start against the field. That'll add to the nerves.
False start in a lane.
So the 2-time world champ of the 1500, 2-time Olympic gold medals in the 1500, Kjell Nausch. Back to the line on the left.
Ready.
Fair start. Here we go. Nausch trying to take care of business and give Jordan Stolz a tough number to beat. And Nausch winding it up quickly. Eitram takes a little bit longer to kind of find his tempo. But he's beginning to find it now in those long gliding strides as he comes around this opening corner. Again, to see Eitram's time opening up 6,400s off. Neither terribly quick in the opening lap and a quarter. Now the draft to Nausch. Check the time here. Kjell Naus looking very cool. 25-3 for Naus. 2 laps to go. That's about 4/10 off of Kongsjorg's full lap. So Kjell Naus, one of the all-time great speed skaters. 35 years of age. Here's the bell. And he has 7/10 of a second to make up on Kongsjorg. Eitram tried to chase down Naus on that back straight. And they nearly come together. Naus corkscrews through the corner. Kongsjorg's time, 1:42.25 officially. Here comes Kjell Naus. Does he have enough there? He won't. And he's in 4th place. A 1:43.09. Eitram right now is 5th. So Kongsjorg holds up, and that is the time to beat. Kim still 2nd. Prins is still 3rd. But 1 pair to go, and it is Ning Zongyang of China and the invincible American Jordan Stolz. There's some applause for Kjell Naus and Sander Eitram. There's a look at Peter Kongsjorg right now, still in the lead. He's guaranteed a podium. He'll win a medal. What flavor? And here's the final pair. Ning Zongyang of China, 25-year-old. First Chinese skater to ever win a World Cup 1,500 meter. That was 6 years ago. And here is the invincible American, Jordan Stolz, just 20 years of age. He has won 17 straight World Cup golds. The last time he did not win, he finished 2nd to Kongsjorg in Poland last year in the 1,500. Kongsjorg is your leader. This is the 1,500 in Calgary. But Stolz wants a gold, but he also wants Naus's world record of 140.17. Here we go.
Ready.
Stolz already owns the 1,000-meter world record set in Salt Lake City a year ago, January. And here is Jordan Stolz pursuing his 18th straight World Cup. And will a world record be tethered to it? Ning has been a valiant competitor against Stolz over the last few years. And Stolz will open up at 23.08. He is flying. And Ning goes out in 23.47. That is a huge number by Stolz. Ning trying to stay close and draw the draft. Stolz switches to the inner. We'll check out the first full lap time. 24.49 for Jordan Stolz. And he's almost a second ahead of the lead. And that world record of Kjell Naus could be in play here. Let's check Jordan Stolz. Where will he be as he hears the bell? Naus's world record, 140.17. Stolz will hear the bell, and he is at 113.72, and he has a shot at it. He has a real shot at Naus's world record. About a 27-second lap would do it for Stolz, thereabouts. Into the final corner. Here's Jordan Stolz, the invincible American, on his way to an 18th straight World Cup gold. Will he take down Kjell Naus's world record that has stood for 6 years? 140.17 is the number. The record will hold. Stolz, though, wins World Cup gold for the 18th straight race. A 141.23 misses the world mark set by Naus by a little over a second. And it was the last lap of 27.51 that led to the undoing of the world record attempts. Stolz gave it a run. Naus's world record preserved, but it's an 18th unprecedented World Cup gold in a row for the 20-year-old American Jordan Stolz. Ning will win silver. Kongsjorg will take the bronze. Ning outpips Kongsjorg by 1/100th of a second for silver. Folks, he's only 20. And we are just seeing the tip of this generational speed skaters iceberg. Great race by Ning. He gave it all. And a beautiful night for Peter Kongsjorg. We'll see Stolz again across the weekend. Can he run it all the way out to 20 World Cup golds in a row? Tomorrow, the men's 1,000. Sunday, the men's 500. Those are the next targets for Jordan Stolz. Probably the most impressive aspect of this 18 World Cup run for Jordan Stolz. He is not backing into any of these wins. As you see, the track record does go down by 11/100ths. He takes down Yusukov's mark set in 2017. I mean, he is taking the best shots from Ning, from Kongsjorg, from Kim, and many others. And he has had to dig deep in a lot of these races. And even on the third and fourth World Cup event of a weekend, when there's not much left in the tank for Jordan Stolz, when he needs a big last lap to keep the streak intact, he finds it every single time.
Hello, man.
And that was a inadvertent drive-by by Stolz. Like one of the competitors was wanting to fist bump him. I think that was is that Kongsjorg? Anyway, Stolz is focused on a chat with his coach. And there are the updated World Cup standings, the men's 1,500, 60 points for the win. Stolz this season a perfect 3 for 3. So Stolz wins gold in Calgary, Ning silver, Kongsjorg takes the bronze. And we will pause now for the victory ceremony on the Olympic oval ice. And the final event of this opening day in Calgary will start in 15 minutes time. It'll be the women's 1,000 meter, where we will see Vanessa Herzog. We'll see Suzanne Schulting, Kimmy Getz, Antoinette Riepman-Young, Brittany Bowe, Yuta Leerdam, the 17-year-old Angel Dalaman, and so far the unbeatable Miho Takagi of Japan in the final pair. Jordan Stolz, 18 World Cup golds in a row. Gold in Calgary in the 1,500. Back in a bit.
gentlemen, we now present the ISU World Cup Speed Skating Victory Ceremony for the winners of the men's A Division 1500 meters.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous présentons maintenant les gagnants du 1500 mètres hommes.
The medals will be presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hasselhoff. And our top 3 skaters will also receive a delicious custom chocolates from Calgary's own The Chocolate Lab. Presented by Mark Messer, the director of the Olympic Oval. And joining tonight's medalists are 3 members of the Calgary Speed Skating Association, Win Kondraki, Jerome Shu, and Lachlan Revlich. And third place and winner of the bronze medal, skating a time of 1:42.25, representing the country of Norway, Peter Kongsjorg. Second place and winner of the silver medal, skating a time of 1:42.24, representing the country of China, Ni Zhongyang. In first place and winner of the gold medal, skating an official Olympic Oval track record, a time of 1:41.22, representing the United States of America, Jordan Stolz. Well, ladies and gentlemen, no sooner than the medal presentation, we're about to move into the next event, which is the women's 1,000 meters Division A.
2 minutes. 2 minutes to the start of racing. Test shot.
For those that are new to the sport, skating 1,000 meters is 2,400 meter track. That's 13 meters in size, but each of the middle lanes are 5 meters each width. And so 1,000 meters, 2,100 skaters start in the middle of the west side and finish in the middle of the east side. 10 meters come out.
All right, back inside the Olympic Oval in Calgary, Alberta, as the ISU's World Cup stop in Calgary continues and closes out day 1. And ready now for the 10 pairs of the women's 1,000 meter. And get the 2-minute warning in the background before we get things rolling. And we will see some big names here. Brittany Bowe, Kimmy Getz of the United States. We will see Miho Takagi, who has been unbeatable so far this year at both the 1,000 and 1,500 meter distance. Jutta Leerdam, who won the European Sprint Championship a couple of weeks ago. We will see her. We'll see Suzanne Schulting in pair 6. Ritma de Jong, who won the overall all-around a couple of weeks ago at the European Championship. So it's a quality field. And there you see the opening 5 pairs. Yukino Yoshida, who has broken through in a couple of 500-meter gold medals earlier this year. There you see de Jong in pair 8, Bowe and Leerdam in pair 9, and then the teenager Weidemann and Takagi will round out the 10 pairs here in the women's 1,000 meter. Great to have you with us. Hopefully you're enjoying the broadcast, and the fans certainly are. And, you know, who knows how many more events will be held in this facility. Again, as we talked about earlier in the broadcast, they need a lot of money to do a lot of kind of infrastructure repairs to this building.
In the inside lane.
But this has been the site of so many huge moments. There's Leah Sophie Schultz, 25-year-old, and Sophia Prasvirnova, formerly representing Russia, became a Danish citizen a couple of years ago, married another speed skater, Victor, a couple of years ago, and in her second World Cup of the season, finished 13th in Beijing in the 1,000 meter. And Prasvirnova right there in the red and black in the foreground. So Prasvirnova, again, did not race in the opening World Cup event in Nagano and then finished 13th, so she claimed 28 points. That's enough to get her into the A division in just her second World Cup event of this year. So rounding into form, you know, the 25-year-old Schultz. Personal best that she set right here in Calgary 4 years ago, 1:15.69. Prasvirnova has been sub-1:15s. We'll see a couple of skaters later on in this 1,000. Personal best, they're sub-112. It's Leerdam and Takagi. The bell for Thor Prasvirnova. Sophia, 3-time Olympic short tracker representing Russia, had a great deal of success on the short track. I've gotten to know her pretty well over the last few years. Just really wanted an opportunity to skate. So departed the Russian program and found a very nice home representing Denmark and a very nice finish by Stolz. And she will close in 29.0 and in the opening pair, 1:15.19. And that will be a PB again on this same ice for Schultz. So first pair in the books. 1:15.19 for Leah Sophie Schultz. And out of pair 2.
We now move to the second pairing in the inside
final
lane.
Canadian we will see on the ice tonight.
There
she is.
Beatrice Lamarche.
Beatrice Lamarche. Yeah, soaking it in.
And in the outer lane from the country of Poland, Angelika
28-year-old Olympian Angelika Wojcik from Poland. A muted response for her, comparatively speaking.
Ready.
So away we go, Lamarche, daughter of a couple of Canadian speed skating parents. Her father, Ben, and Marie-Pierre, mom, both wore the maple leaf of Canada. Both Wojcik and Lamarche out ahead of the early numbers set by Stolz and Prasvirnova. 28-year-old Olympian from Poland out in front. A 26.9 lap for Angelica. Both of these skaters have been below 115 before. Wojcik has kind of flirted with a sub 114 earlier in her career. And again, a lot of personal bests will be set on this Calgary ice this weekend, and she'll be 114.47. And that 114.79 for Lamarche, that is a PB for her. And look at the reaction by Wojcik, 114.47. Not a personal best, but clearly a surprising number for her on the positive side. So that'll knock Stolz off the top after 2 pairs. Watch this reaction here. She finds the scoreboard, sees the number, and then the eyes bugged out of her head. Oh yeah, fist pump too.
Number 3. And here we
Gives
go.
an idea either maybe the training wasn't going well and then you're surprised with the number, or you've been training so well you expect to see a number like that and then you deliver. So something was positively surprising for her, or pleasing anyway.
Carolina Wojcik.
Yes, Carolina Wojcik. Ayala Saito, Japan.
Go to the start.
Saito, Olympic gold medalist in the team pursuit back in Pyeongchang in 18. Each of these skaters 2-time Olympians.
Ready.
Wojcik at the European Championships in the sprints a couple of weeks ago finished overall 5th. So it comes in pretty good form. Leerdam, Femke Kok, Suzanne Schulting finished gold, silver, bronze overall in the European sprints. Crossover with Saito moving to the outer. Wojcik will line it up, kind of holds that corner well. You will hear the bell. We'll check the times. The lap time 27:15 for Wojcik. 2/3 of a second off the pace. One last crossover. Saito will finish on the inner. Saito making up some ground on the inner, and she's in good shape to claim this pair. 114.47 the time of Wojcik, and neither get inside 115. And we saw the reaction of Wojcik, happy, surprised. And we see the kind of the head shake there by Saito as she looked up and saw the time. Not thrilled. So Wojcik stays on top, 3 pairs in. Saito good for 3rd at this stage. So now to pair 4. And one of the real nice surprises over this World Cup season.
From the country of Japan,
And there she is right there, Yukino Yoshida, 21 years old, bursting onto the scene, winning a couple of World Cup golds at the 500 level in Nagano and in Beijing. And here's Vanessa Herzog, a world champ 6 years ago in the 500, 3-time Olympian. But at one time, she was 1 and 1A with now Kadaira as the fastest female 500 skater. And a false start. Didn't look like Herzog was completely stable. But they singlet against Yoshida instead. See if we can catch what happened. Well, I thought there might have been a little bit of subtle movement by both. Adds to the tension. It's a false start against the field.
False start inner lane, going down too slow. Go to the start. Ready.
Clean start this time. Yoshida on the inner, Herzog on the outer. Haven't really seen the best of Vanessa Herzog so far this year in terms of her results or times. See how she looks here in the 1,000. Very capable at both this distance and certainly the 500. Herzog goes out to 1773, Yoshida 1787. Close contest around this corner. There's a look at Herzog. And Vanessa will hear the bell first. 45.07, a half second on top of Yoshida with less than a lap to go. Wojcik, a 1:14.47. Body language laboring there of Herzog, and there goes Yoshida on the blow-by, and Yoshida will finish well ahead of Herzog, a 30.99 to close for Vanessa, but even Yoshida's time is not good enough even for top 3 at this stage. So Wojcik stays on top, 4 pairs in. That is a personal best, though, for Yoshida. 1:15.17, trims almost 3/4 of a second off of it.
We now
Now
move
to
to
pair
the
5.
of 10 pairings in the women's 1,000 meters in the inside lane from the country of Korea.
Two-time Olympian from Korea,
Min-Seok.
Kim Min-Seok, 25-year-old. World single distance
And in the
silver
outer
in the
lane,
500
country
here in
of
Calgary
Poland, Natalia
last year.
Wojcik.
And here's Natalia Wojcik of Poland, 23 years of age.
Go to the start.
Saw her on the 500-meter podium as part of the Euro all-around last week, behind Young and Beune.
Ready.
Halfway through the field in the women's 1,000. This is pair 5. And so far, the 28-year-old from Poland, Angelika Wojcik, her time still holding at 1:14.47. But the big names, top skaters are on the way, beginning in the next pair with Suzanne Schulting. So there's the bell. Wojcik trailing Kim by about a half a second. Back straight, last crossover. And Kim Min-Seok will finish on the inner. Grimacing look on Wojcik on the outer for Poland. But she will pull away the final few meters, but a 1:15.03. That's a PB by about a second and a half for Natalia. 1:15.29 for Kim. And that will place Wojcik 4th. So certainly happy with the time. She was 1:16.52 as her PB. It's a crusher. So 5 pairs remaining, and now we'll get the bigger names. And here is Suzanne Schulting, who just continues to show a lot of improvement from race to race on the long track. Short track, superstar, Olympic champion 3 times. No word on if she will join or rejoin the short track squad. She's coming off of a kind of a nagging ankle injury several months ago, but we've seen great improvement really from race to race for her.
Ready.
Schulting got on the podium in Beijing in the 500, the second running of it, finishing silver to Jean McNogal. And then the European Championships sprints a couple of weeks ago. On the podium in each of the thousands, in one of the 500s, and overall finished bronze. Schulting goes out in 17:89. There she is, Rio Yamada, 27-year-old from Japan, her partner in the pair. The time's been dropping pretty regularly for Suzanne Schulting. Just with the more experience she gets back on the long track. There's Yamada speeding out of the inner corner. There's the bell, tight race. Final lap. Separated by 4 100s are Yamada and Schulting. Yamada maintains the balance, stretches out that left arm, drifting away a bit. Schulting will draft one more time, the last cross. Schulting will finish on the inner. Let's see if she has enough to chase down Rio Yamada here. It will be tight. Schulting stumbles, loses balance, and still gets there somehow. Looked like a baby deer on ice over the last 10 or 15 meters, but even as the legs began to wishbone away, she was able to figure out a way to recover and stay on the blades. But that will cost Schulting some dear time. Schulting at 1:15.07 is 5th. Yamada is sitting 8th, 1:15.18. Look at that finish. Stride just got away from Suzanne Schulting right there in the final 5 meters or so. Fortunate there wasn't an injury attached to that. So there is your leader still. 6 pairs in. Angelica Wojcik at 1:14.47, still holding up.
Let's go to the 7th pair.
And out of pair 7.
The inside lane. From
First
the
of
United
2
States
Americans
of
we'll see here in the
America,
women's 1,000.
Yes.
Kimmy Getz, the 30-year-old Olympian.
And in the outside
Bronze in the
lane
500 at the World Single Distance
Morozova.
last year here in Calgary. And as
Go
Morozova,
to the start.
Olympian of Kazakhstan, married to Dmitry Morozov, another Olympian speed skater for Kazakhstan.
Ready.
Full start. Yeah, boy. Morozova immediately looks over to the starter. That's when you know it's very likely on you. Yeah, a little wobble right there. And watch the head turn. Yep. Elementary call. No surprise to Morozova.
False start, outer lane. Go to the start. Ready.
Getz has been on one podium this World Cup season. It was back in Nagano in the second running of the 500. Took bronze behind Aaron Jackson and Voska. But we know what Kimmy Getz is capable of doing. She goes out 18:09. Morozova 18:06. 4 PBs already through the first 6 pairs. Getz has been as quick as 1:12.65 over her career. Heather Bergsma has the track record at 1:12.28. Brittany Bowe, the world record holder. We'll see her in pair 9 tonight. It's looking like Wojcik is still going to be fine through pair 7. Neither Morozova nor Getz is looking like they're going to be any threat, at least to the leader. Sato right now third at 1:15.03. So here comes Kimmy Getz. And gets a nice finish. Gets up all the way to second at 29.13 last lap. 1:14.66. So Getz comes within 19 hundredths of Wojcik. A blistering last lap for Kimmy Getz. Now that should give Getz a little extra confidence over the course of the weekend. That was a gigantic last 400 meters for Kimmy Getz. But the slow start cost her. So in second position is Getz. 3 pairs to come.
Get another one. That's the whole challenge of the sport of speed skating. 3 pairings to go.
And now here is pair number 8. Two-time Olympian from China. Han Mei, 26 years old. And then
And in the outer lane,
2 weeks ago, the European Championships all-around champion, Antoinette Weidemann de Jong. 4th European all-around title in a row for de Jong. This is where Wojcik's time will really be tested.
Ready.
And another false start. And that will go against de Jong. And this was not steady on the line. Pre-race routine one more time.
Go to the start.
That'll grow the tension.
Ready.
Fair start. And de Jong on the chase of Wojcik's 1:14.47. Bowe and Leerdam next. Weidemann and Takagi will close out. 2 more pairs to come after this one. Han Mei has been on a World Cup podium once this year. Silver in the 1500 in Nagano. De Jong, a silver in Beijing in the 1000. Has been won each of the World Cup events this year by Miho Takagi. There's the bell. Han in front. About 9/10 off the pace. Now if she can fashion a lap like we saw from Kimmy Getz in the final 400, she might be able to wrestle the lead away from Wojcik. Draft to de Jong. Han will finish on the inner. Negotiating the corner, stays tight, exhaling, here she comes. 1:14.47 to beat, and she does it, and she's under 1:14. A 28.35 last lap for Han Mei, and a 1:13.58. De Jong clocks in 8th place. So Han's last lap goes 28.3 or 28.35 technically. Kimmy Getz came home in 29.13. And Wojcik, your previous leader, came in at 30.10. That final 400, the difference maker for Han. So she is the leader in the clubhouse, 2 pairs to go. And now we will see Brittany Bowe and Jutta Leerdam.
In the ninth pairing in the inside
So here is Beau
lane
for
from
the United States.
of America, Brittany Beau.
Bronze in Nagano in the 1,000. That is her
And in the
individual
outer
podium
lane,
for
from
this
the
year. And
Netherlands,
Jutta Leerdam, the European sprint champ just a couple of weeks ago. She went both
Go to
ends of the
start.
1,000. Finished second in the first 500. Bronze in the next 500. So form is very good for Jutta Leerdam. There's Brittany Beau,
Ready.
two-time Olympic medalist. Four-time world champ. So Beau usually takes a little bit to wind up in this 1,000. And Jutta Leerdam churning out ahead early. Here's Brittany Beau. Beau seems to be off a little bit quicker than normal. We'll check out the times. Both very good. Sub-18 for both Beau and Leerdam. It's a good sign for Brittany Beau, the world record holder here in the 1,000. It's been holding up for 6 years now. Again, Leerdam on the ice a couple of weeks ago at the Euros. For Beau and the rest of the world, they've just been prepping for this event. So the legs should be fresh as Leerdam now pulling away a bit from Beau. Picked up almost a second on Brittany on that lap. The lead to Leerdam. And down the back straight, and Beau churning to try and get back in the middle of this one. So here comes Jutta Leerdam. Mahon's time, 113.58. Jutta Leerdam down the home straight. This will be close, 113.58, and she gets there by 11 hundredths. Jutta Leerdam displaces Han May to second. Brittany Beau, a nice last lap of 29 flat, into third position with one pair to go. So 113.47 for Jutta Leerdam. So that will be the time to beat for Miho Takagi and the teenager Angel Dalaman of the Netherlands. Takagi has not lost this year in either the 1,000 or the 1,500 at the World Cup. So while the run of action for Takagi is not 18 in a row like Jordan Stolz, it still is significant at this elite level. 4 straight. Both 15s in Nagano and Beijing, both 1000s
And in our 10th
in Nagano
final pairing,
and
in the
Beijing.
inside
Final
lane
pair.
from the country of the Netherlands, Angel Dalaman.
So there's the 17-year-old, youngest in the competition all week, and just
And in
17.
the outer lane,
Angel
from the country
Dalaman.
of Japan,
She's been on an individual World Cup podium at the senior level in Beijing, bronze in the 1,000. And here is Miho Takagi.
Go to the start.
Perfect year for the 30-year-old. 6-time Olympic medalist. Trying to continue to run the table. There's the start. Takagi will come out of the first quarter and pushed by the 17-year-old Dalaman. Now Leerdam went out with the 9th fastest opener at 17.98. Let's check Takagi. She goes in 17.66. That is the second fastest, only behind Angelica Wojcik, 17.45. So Takagi puts herself in pristine position. And now she'll draft behind the teenager, switch to the inner. Wojcik was still in the lead after this first full lap. We'll see where Takagi is. Takagi 1,600's clear, 44.28. So Miho Takagi down the back straight. Leerdam finished with a 29 flat. Her time is 113.46. And here comes Miho Takagi trying to stay perfect in this World Cup season. Can she go 5 for 5? Here's the 30-year-old swinging both arms to the finish, and Takagi has done it again. 28.82 close, a 113.10, And Miho Takagi is 5 for 5 this World Cup season, her third consecutive 1,000-meter gold. Leerdam will win the silver, Han May the bronze, and Dalaman a personal best, but finishes 4th, just off the podium. Brittany Bowe 5th, and your early leader, Angelica Wojcik, finishes 6th. So a quick start by Takagi, a very good middle, and a flourish of a finish for Miho Takagi to close it down. And that was the second fastest final lap of any of the competitors for Miho Takagi, only behind Han May. So the winning streaks of Miho Takagi and Jordan Stolz are safe through another day. 18 straight World Cup golds for Jordan Stolz, and that's 5 straight now for Miho Takagi. She claims the women's 1,000. There are the official results. Gold to Takagi, silver to Leerdam, bronze to Han. Dalaman, the 17-year-old, finishing 4th. Brittany Bowe 5th. Kimmy Getz 7th. And Lamarche, the lone Canadian, finishing 8th. Suzanne Schulting just outside the top 10. And Vanessa Herzog, a 19th place finish. So we did see some fast ice. No world records tonight. A lot of personal bests. And no real surprises, especially at the top of the standings of these individual events. But this is only day 1 that is complete here in Calgary. As we get a look at the updated World Cup standings for the women's 1,000. Takagi, Leerdam, and now Dalaman is up into 3rd place. Brittany Bowe top 5. But looking ahead to tomorrow, day 2 action. Our coverage will begin with the men's 10,000 meter. Davide Giotto will pursue a world record in the 10,000. He's already bested the world record time this year, but it was unrecognized, so hence not a world record. He will go for the official world record tomorrow. Then the women's 1,500 will follow. We'll see Takagi again try to stay unbeaten. And then the men's 1,000, which means Jordan Stolz will pursue win number 19 in a row. And then Sunday we'll close things out with the 500 meter, the mass start, and the team sprints. So we'll go down onto the ice for the awards ceremony that will close down day 1 here in Calgary. And again, there's a look at the women's 1,000 meter World Cup gold yet again. Miho Takagi, she will head to the top of the podium, accept her gold medal, and we'll see her and everyone again tomorrow. Again, that is going to wrap things up for day 1 from the Olympic Oval in Calgary, Alberta. For all of us with the ISU, Patrick Keenan saying enjoy the rest of your Friday night. Thank you for watching. We'll talk with you tomorrow. Day 2 from Calgary, ISU World Cup speed skating, the 3rd event across the World Cup campaign. We'll see you on Saturday. Thanks for watching. Good night, everyone.
24 skaters for that. And then the women A, 1500 meter, 1000. And then we're going to do the B, 10,000 meters. And there's a lot of skaters. We'll be quadding them. So tomorrow, 1500 meter, 1000 for the B, 10,000 meter for the A, and 10,000 meter for the B. So it's an AV day tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. World Cup stop in Calgary continues right here at the Calgary Olympic Oval. Ladies and gentlemen, we now present the ISU World Cup Speed Skating Victory Ceremony for the winners of the Women's A Division 1,000 meters.
Mesdames et messieurs, nous présentons maintenant les gagnantes du 1000 mètres femmes.
The medals will be presented by ISU representative Mr. Albert Hasselhoff. Our top 3 skaters will also receive delicious custom chocolates from Calgary's own The Chocolate Lab. Presented by Mr. Reed Bilben, the Executive Director, Sport, Culture, and Major Events, Tourism, Calgary. And accompany him and the medalists today are 2 speed skaters, young speed skaters, one from the Itchy Band Speed Skating Club, Brian Chow, and from the Calgary Grizzlies Speed Skating Club, Nora Martin. In 3rd place, and winner of the bronze medal, skating a time of 1:13.58, representing China, Han Mei. In 2nd place, and winner of the silver medal, skating a time of 1:13.46, representing the Netherlands, Jutta Leerdam. Lastly, in 3rd place, and winner of the gold medal, skating a time of 1:13.10 seconds, representing Japan, Miho Takagi. Congratulations to our ISU World Cup Speed Skating winner and other medalists.
Félicitations à tous les médaillés.
And ladies and gentlemen, that brings day 1 at the Calgary Olympic Oval, the World Cup stop number 3. Get a good night's rest, enjoy what's left of the evening, and we'll be back here first thing tomorrow morning with the 1,500 meter men's and women, rather the 1,500 meter women's B and the 1,000 meter men's. Good night, God bless, and thank you, Beard, for being a part of it. And Leo Landry, enjoy your evening, and we'll see you tomorrow.